You are listening to the Gate 7 International Podcast, a podcast connecting Olympiacos fans from Melbourne to Baltimore, from London to Piraeus. We are 4 Olympiacos fans from every corner of the world, bringing you news and interviews of the team you love in English. With new episodes twice a week, you'll never lose the latest updates and stories of the team you love. This is our team, our city, and our land. Man Aoniro Trello. You're listening to the Gate 7 International Podcast.
What's happening, everybody? This is Costa from Gate 7 International. I've got a little smile, a little one, because the basketball team's just won 67-58 against Armani Milano. That's a massive win against a team that's third in the standings. We were just below them. So that's kind of sweetened what's been a very, very bitter night for Olympiacos, as Olympiacos go out of the Europa League. I'm alone tonight, so get those comments coming in. There's already quite a lot there before we've even started. Before we start, guys, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe, hit the bell, make sure you don't miss future episodes. Lambro and Kosta, our friend, we're both at the stadium tonight. They've got a vlog they're preparing as well, so there's going to be another vlog coming out, as I mentioned yesterday on the preview. So yeah, guys, if you like what you listen to tonight, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps getting the name of the show out there and spreading it to more and more fans across the world. Now, where do I begin? I'm going to go straight to the chat, and things are really heating up here, guys. We said that we're going to keep it real tonight. There's a lot of problems at the club. It's a transition year, but before we really jump into the real talk, let's just remind ourselves of what's happened tonight. So Pedro Martins ends up lining up with a 3-5-2 formation, or at least that's what it was shown as, a 3-5-2, with Vachlik in goal, the 3 at the back with Cisse, Manolas, and Socrates, Kenny Lala on the right, Oleg Grabchuk on the left, Yanem Villar, Agibu Kamara, and Madi Kamara in midfield. So no Bukhalagis today. And then Onyekuru and Tiquinho starting up top, or at least that's how it was shown, because I really don't know where Henry Onyekuru was supposed to play. I don't understand what his role on the pitch was. Just a game that really somewhat summarized our season. Just a confused team with no real identity, trying with whatever they had to do something, but in the end, zero shots on target tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in a game that we needed at least 2 goals, because I could not foresee a scenario in which Atalanta were not going to score in this game. We needed to open up. And I mean, look, I know some people have said to me that we kept things together in the first half and it wasn't bad, but I'm sorry, that isn't Olympiacos. What we've watched today was not Olympiacos. Generally this season, what we've been watching is not what we expect from Olympiacos as Olympiacos fans. Just not good enough. I've said it before already after the Frankfurt defeat. This is a transition year and I'm waiting for this season to finish. A lot of people were going to say, okay, now we need to win the double. Minimum need to win the double. I don't want to say any more about that. That's what we expect as Olympiacos fans, is to win in every game. And I think that the fact that Olympiacos is an undefeated team in the Greek league says a lot about the state of Greek football, the Greek league, and coming up against a team like Atalanta that had so many problems, coming with no striker tonight, Luis Muriel out, injured, Duvan Zapata out as well, Josep Ilicic out. the draw was difficult. We know we were coming up against a good team, a real team. And, we've been beat in the end. It was game over after that mistake from Kenny Lala. It was game over in the 40th minute. We'd kept it at 0-0. God knows what the game plan was. We could have gone into the second half, snatched a goal. It could have been a different game if we hadn't gone 1-0 down in the first half in the 40th minute, so close to halftime. Who knows? But just amateur defending from Kenny on the right-hand side, and it's cost us as well. And in these competitions against good opposition, you get punished, and that's what happened to us tonight. And then it was the Malinovsky show in the second half. One goal, I think it was the 66th minute, and again 3 minutes later, an absolute corker from outside the box with his left foot made it look like a penalty. And he had acres of space outside the box, and all he had to do was lift his leg, pull the trigger. He had time to smoke a cigarette and sip his coffee before he took that shot, and it just blasted into the top corner. Vaclik could do nothing, and the ball was hit with so much power it even bounced back out. So that was Malinovsky show in the second half. And again, guys, zero shots on target from Olympiacos. I'm going to go to the comments, guys. George Kefalas, Martins is a joke. He's obsessive and often shows favoritism to players who doesn't deserve while burying others like Chumic and Markovic. Then there is the team. I compare today's team to the one that beat Benfica 5-1 and I get depressed. Yeah, okay, but you're talking about players like Galetti, Djordjevic on that team. Let's not let's not go down that road, George. I know you're critical of the manager as well. We've been critical of the manager as well on this podcast. I have a lot of questions about what happens with the manager. Did he renew his contract to try and settle the dressing room and make sure we win the league by the end of the season? Is it just prolonging the inevitable? Will he leave in spite of contract extension? We don't know. But the thing is, at the end of this season, we have a very short break because now we're playing from the first round of qualification for the UEFA Champions League qualifiers. So that means probably our preseason is going to have to start in early June, qualifier starting in early July. So we need to know who's going to be building this team in June. Is it going to be Pedro Martins? I really don't know. If Pedro can build a team like what he did his first 2 years, great. If it's going to be so that we see what we've seen tonight or all year this year, then maybe it's time for something different. I don't know. It depends on a lot of things. Garci, I think this is a fan from Spain. Martins on Yakuru and Lala out. Yeah, I mean, everyone. Henry on Yakuru. I mean, to be honest with you, when I saw the so-called 3-5-2 formation of whatever it was at the beginning, I thought, okay, we've paid 5 million for this player. Surely he can show something. And you know what? I don't think anyone likes to see a player get booed off like that, but I really can't say anything to defend him. Like, I understand the fans' frustration. All we're going to remember of Henry Onyekuru at the end of this season, hopefully he's gone at the end of this season. All we're going to remember is that he came for 5 million, reported 5 million euro fee. He took the number 7, which is an important thing at this club. I don't need to explain why. And then we played Ludogorets, and the day after we got knocked out of the Champions League, he went to Turkey and dyed his hair green. Those are the two things we're literally going to remember about this player, that he dyed his hair green and he took the 7 and did nothing, scored 1 goal and 1 assist and got booed off the pitch in arguably the biggest game of the season. And Kenny, I don't know what to say. Kenny Lala is, I've seen games where you just think he's good. He's a good right back, but then there's just some games where he disappears. It's like he's not even on the pitch, and he's just not good enough. He's not good enough. And today sealed it for me. I said that there are a number of players that I really just never want to see in an Olympiacos shirt again. And okay, we still have time until the end of the season, so that's unrealistic. But next season, I do not want to see. I'm sorry, I don't want to see Kenny Lala in this team. I don't want to see Henry Nyukuru in a red and white shirt. I don't want to see Oleg Rebchuk as a starter in this team. I'm fed up. I'm really fed up. At least we won in the basketball. Tut de la tut. Yes, my friend, that's what I was saying at the beginning of the pod. That's the only reason why I can smile a little bit today. Because great game. We were behind for most of it. And then in the fourth quarter, Kostas Lucas turned it on. 2 big 3-pointers, and he helped create a distance between Armani. So, yeah, we have some joy from the basketball. Dimitris Christidis says a dreadful performance tonight and an embarrassing display. You have to ask, there's a lot of questions we can ask, mate. Should we have played with a 4-3-3 like Fiorentina has played against Atalanta at the weekend? When we changed it to 4-3-3 in the second half, we had a bit more possession. Meaningless, but at least we could carry the ball in their half. In the first half, we had trouble getting the ball out of our own box. Just pass back to Vaclik and try and build up, and then the ball gets stolen. And yeah, it was just a bitter disappointment. And I say it again, a big fat 0 on a night where you expect the team to come out and show some character, show what they've got. We know there've been problems since the beginning of the season, but it doesn't justify what we've seen on the pitch. Vios Memtas, similar comment. Yasruvae, disgusting performance, ashamed. A lot of people now asking for Martins' head in here as well. Billy Mutafis, poor performance all round, but no one played worse today than Madi Camara. I can think of 1 or 2 players that played worse than Madi Camara tonight, to be honest, man. Kenny Lala for starters, and then Madi. While again, he's a shadow of his good self and what we're used to. He at least had that shot in the first 5 minutes with his left foot, and it went whiskers wide. So yeah, I can think of a few players that were worse than him. Super Bowl Nicoletos, our team did not play so well. I think that's putting it mildly, my friend. Tut de la Tut says, shit performance, shit coach, shit players. They do not understand how to recognize and honor our club. That's probably true of a few players on this squad, man. I just think there are a lot of players on this team that just don't understand and don't want to understand and don't belong. They don't deserve to wear the red and white. I was somewhat surprised at the end at how civilized the atmosphere was in terms of the reaction at the end of the game, because I know Henry got booed, but yeah, the end was somewhat civilized, and it could have gotten nasty. Whoever you are, man. Pedro Martins is chiming in now. Just looking up a few more comments. Lakis Gavalas. Hello, Lakis. Team has been regressing for the last 18 months. Yeah. Something I've been saying for sure as well, man. Just after that second season, and if you look at Martins' progression and the evolution of the team, we've actually done a video about this, which I encourage you to watch. The team's basically, gone up first 2 seasons, peaked in 2019, 2020, and then it's been downhill since the 2019-2020 season after that Wolves game when COVID hit, and it messed things up. A lot of players probably would have gone if it wasn't for the COVID crisis and the way it affected the economy. I can think of a number of players, but it's been a regressing team the last 18 months. And I'm gonna get into some more, guys, but I did mention that Lambro and Kosta were both in the stadium today, and they have sent their post-match thoughts on video, and I'm going to go ahead and play that right now, and you can get a little feeling of the atmosphere in the stadium right after the game's finished. So check this out.
Okay, let's go.
No intro whatsoever.
Olympiacos goes out of the Europa League tonight with Atalanta. One of the worst performances I've seen of Olympiacos in Europe, I want to say, in a little while. And everything that's happened this season has come back tonight. The poor football, the poor decisions, the bad formations, the bad play. It all came out tonight in the Karaiskaki, and Olympiacos suffered killed by a very good team. And do I say the end of Pedro Martinez at Olympiacos? It could be tonight. We'll see.
It's pretty ironic. I kept telling Lambro it was a very ironic performance because in Italy, the lines were together. There was a system, there was a formation that was being used, and the team were done more from set pieces. In this game, the team quenched the set pieces danger, but they just couldn't keep the lines together. Lambro said it best with about Atalanta. To think that this is a team that just cannot win in Italy for over a month and beat us on both legs with relative ease. Even though they have all those injuries, they're missing players, they're missing attackers, and they still did it relatively well, relatively easy. A lot of problems at Olympiacos, a lot of work to do in the summer. The season's basically over. All that's left is the double. I feel like this is a sort of make or break game for Pedro Martins, because either he builds on this, he builds a team for next season with two really good fullbacks. Olympiacos need fullbacks, or this is the match that just keeps Olympiacos on the wall, just keeps them down. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see indeed. I guess this is the end of our vlog. This is really depressing. This is not fun. One of the most difficult moments I've lived in the Karaiskaki tonight. But Olympiacos in the easy times, Olympiacos in the difficult times, we'll turn it around. Difficult tonight, really difficult. I don't know what to say. I guess I'll have a longer message to say when I'm on the podcast, but this was a really tough night to live. I don't know where Olympiacos goes after tonight. We'll see.
Very mediocre performances in Europe, very mediocre appearances and performances all around, really, from Olympiacos. It's so weird that we went from that Olympiacos team that almost eliminated Wolves from the last 16, and for the last 2 years, the game and the performance have been so hapless, both in Greece and in Europe. It just says a lot about Greek football that this team that we just saw is undefeated. Busy summer, and no matter what, I am a broken record. I don't care. I'm going to keep saying that. Get two really good fullbacks. I don't care if Tiquinho and Arabi live together. You're not buying a center forward. You're getting two good fullbacks. I did. Done.
I can't agree more with that last statement about the fullbacks, especially if you want to play three at the back. My God, those fullbacks are just simply not good enough. When you're used to seeing players like Kostas Tsimikas more recently, Grigoris Georgatos some years ago, and now you're seeing these fullbacks. I mean, I'm going to go as far as saying even Rafinha is better than Lala. I would rather have Rafinha playing than Kenny Lala. I'm going to say it. At least the guy was consistent. At least he was consistent. So I hope you enjoyed that little post-match reaction from Lambro and Kosta straight from the stadium. As I said earlier, there is a vlog coming out the next couple of days. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button below, hit the bell. You'll be notified as soon as that episode comes out. If you like what you're listening to, what you've heard, hit the like button as well. Help the channel spread and get out there to all Olympiacos fans around the world, wherever you are. I know some of you are listening from Australia, from the US, from the UK. Some people got up at 3 a.m. in Australia to watch the game. Some people didn't go to sleep at all, and they stayed up to watch what they watched. Like Kefalas, ownership and the majority of fans don't care as long as they win the Greek league, sadly. Yeah, that's it. And I'm sure a lot of the headlines tomorrow will be Ketora to double. And I kind of said it a little bit earlier as well. That's what I expect. Tomorrow, it is what it is. And the only way that we can get into Europe is by winning the league. So that's what we need to do. And now with the coefficient, Greece going down the coefficient more and more every year, it's more important to win the Greek league. But there's something I want to say, actually, and it's about the club's motto. We keep on dreaming. And I was thinking about it earlier today. We keep on dreaming. I'm fed up of it being a dream. We all want it to happen. Like if it doesn't happen, like the song says, but it's, I don't know, is it getting a bit old? Like, it shouldn't be a dream. It should be something that we're trying to accomplish. We want to live that experience. We don't just want to dream about it. We need to make it happen. It's just something that I was thinking about earlier. I don't know if there are any thoughts on that. Leave them in the chat. Leave them in the comments below. Do you agree with we keep on dreaming? Should that be our motto? Am I completely crazy? Yorgos Moudouris says, generally struggling to think of a worst performance I've ever seen from us at home in my lifetime. Can't think of any. File, I can... Olympiacos Sporting was pretty abysmal. I was at that game. So, question, is this team as bad as Besnik Hassi's team? Is it? I don't think so. I'm not sure, but it's giving them a run for their money. I can tell you what, if this team played against Besnik Hassi's team, that would probably be the most drab encounter I've ever watched. You know, the worst, probably the worst game of football you'll ever see. Excuse me. Tut de la tut, you're back. We're going to win the double with shit performances in every single game. That's been the story of our season, mate. And now, all right, I want to get to some real talk, because this game has exposed hard truths once again. It's exposed the mistakes that were made in the summer. Look at the signings that we've made. Look at the team that played today. Which of the signings that we made in the summer have come through? Tiquinho. Yeah, he scored, 13 goals in about as many minutes as El Arabi, and El Arabi scored, I think, 15, 6 of which are penalties. We got Tiquinho for free, guys. He was my signing of the summer. I'm not tooting my own horn here, but he was my signing of the summer for a number of reasons. We got him for free. We know what he can do in Europe. He's done it before. He will be better next season if he can stay injury-free. I'm saying it now. You heard it from me. Tiquinho is going to be our number one striker next season. And it showed again today why. I think he was our best player today. His hold-up play was really good. He got, he fought with the 3 centre-backs of Atalanta. And I thought he was our, least worst performer today on the night. But again, guys, no wing backs. We said, let's give Oleg a try and Lala a try in the summer. We got knocked out of Europe. We didn't sign a left back. We signed Michal Karbovnik. Karbovnik's now playing in the B team. Fotis Kitsos has been promoted and they're calling him the next Tsimikas project, but he doesn't even get a game against Volos. Probably he's only going to play in the cup. Now Mario Vrusai is playing at right back and Thanasis Androutos is seemingly out of the manager's plans. So we cocked it up in the fullback positions, even though it seemed like we would be playing the three at the back system. We've gone and played the 3 at the back system with fullbacks that can't attack or that aren't consistent. We didn't sell Madi Camara. We bought in Ronnie Lopez on loan. He seemed to be getting into gear towards Christmas. Then he got COVID, and now he's playing 10 minutes against Atalanta in Bergamo, not coming on today. An absolute mess in the summer. And I said it before, I'll say it again. This is the worst team Pedro Martins has had in his 4 years in charge. And another hard truth, guys. You know what? We didn't deserve to qualify for the playoff round. We did not deserve to qualify for this round of the Europa League. The only reason we qualified is because Vitor Pereira was the manager of Fenerbahce. Think about how our group campaign went. A 2-1 win against Antwerp at home with an Oleg Reabchuk hero performance and goal at the end in stoppage time against Antwerp, against the 4th seed team in the group. And we were number 1 seed. Then, arguably, the only game that we've played good football this season against Fenerbahce away from home, was it a 3-1 win? 2 goals from Masouras and a goal from Tiquinho. Then 2 defeats from Frankfurt, με κατεβασμένα τα χέρια. And then a 1-0 win against Fenerbahce that sealed qualification and second place. And again, it was a stoppage time winner from Tiquinho in a drab encounter. That's the story of our group campaign. And that's the story of our season. We've made it all. Some people have tried to make it out as a success, which financially speaking, and the optics, Olympiacos is playing in the last 32. It's like, okay, that was an objective. But how did you achieve that objective? If we look back at how we played in the group, are we happy with how we played? Are we happy with the football this team's played this season? Does this team have an identity? No, it doesn't. This team has no identity. Again, we still don't know what our best starting 11 is. We still don't know what our best formation is this season. It's February, but the Greek league's so crap that, we're happy to win the Greek league. Undefeated. We're undefeated. This team that can't hit the target in a game. And George Kefalas was saying earlier, I compare this team to the team that beat Benfica 5-1. You don't need to go that far back. You can go back to Martins' second season. Compare it to that team. Where's your computer in the midfield? Where's your Guilherme? Where's your Pedense? Dare I say it? Where's your Ruben Semedo from the first season? Who can bring the ball out of our defense? I mean, Cisse tried to do it from the left centre back position today, and how many balls did he play to one of our players in the first half with his left foot? We don't have that. It's just a team that, dare I say it, they need to make a lot of changes in the summer, and players are going to leave. Some of them that we want to leave, and some that we might not want to leave. What else have I got? It's totally unacceptable that this team plays a home game in front of fans for the first time in 2.5 months, and we didn't even hit the target. Not once. We need to rediscover that identity. This team traditionally has become known, or we've identified it as fans, as an attacking team, as a team that that likes to grab the opponent by the throat, that likes to have flary wingers, whether it's a Georgatos, a Djordjevic, a Giannakopoulos, Galletti, Miralas. Where are those kinds of players? They're not there. Sadly, they're not there. And that's my little rant over in terms of real talk, guys. Everyone, go away and think about it. Really, did we deserve to get this far? And really, was it a surprise that we got knocked out today? Against the better team, but against the team that had a lot of problems and a lot of key players out missing. That's what we can do. What we showed today. And we were knocked out by a better team. The gulf in quality between us and Atalanta was absolutely huge. So it's no surprise. It's just you expect a little bit of effort. And you know what, guys? We've been going for half an hour. I really appreciate all the comments coming in. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. We are live. It is past midnight in Greece now. I've just dropped the link. Anybody that wants to come on, have a chat, let me know your thoughts on the game. Don't be shy. For Greek listeners as well, παιδιά, μην ντρέπεστε, σας παρακαλώ, μια χαρά τα μιλάμε τα ελληνικά. Άμα θέλετε, ελάτε. Χτυπήστε το link, ελάτε να κουβεντιάσουμε. Come on the show, let's have a chat. Keep me some company. On that note, there's a comment from Helen, 4044. I'm translating from Greek now. She says, I'm ashamed to be Olympiakos and not for the defeat. Yeah, this is booing one of our players when he comes out, when he's subbed off. What is she saying? Yeah, so she's saying that it's not a solution to just boo one of our players, even if he's been paid a lot of money and he's not living up to that. Players aren't robots, nor FIFA. Yeah, disappointing. I mean, I said that earlier. It is what it is with Onyekuru, and you don't like to see it, but I can somewhat understand it. And I have a guest that's ready to join. I wonder, is it George Kefalas?
Yes. Listen, I'm way older than you guys. I've been an Olympiacos fan since 1964 when I was 10 years old. I have to say, first of all, you're doing a great job. Second, the team
Thank you.
is unbearable. It's absolutely awful. And this is a creation of management. This is a creation of the coach. Bad choices in transfers. And this mentality of the fans, this bullshit about keep on dreaming that you said. Yes, I say we keep on having wet dreams. That's about it. You know, I'm sick and tired. Salzburg, some years ago, was eliminated by AEK by a total score of 3-1. Look where Salzburg is today, and look where Olympiacos is. And I have other teams, Slavia Praga, Dinamo Zagreb. Why can't we get beyond the top 16? We're just losers. We have the DNA of a losing team, period.
I don't think it's that we have a loser's mentality. I just think that, like you said, you're a lot older than me. I'm born 1986, so I've seen different generations of Olympiacos teams, and maybe we had a loser's mentality when we were, when we were losing away from home. When we'd go to an away game in the Champions League, and we knew we'd lost before we'd even stepped out on the pitch. And
thank God for Lemonis. Okay. Okay.
There was Lemonis, and we had Pechtarades in that team. That beat Werder Bremen. Was it 3-2? 3-1 away.
3-1 over there. 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1 over there, and then beating Lazio in the Olympico 2-1.
Yeah.
And and then Valverde, I think, did a lot to kind of create a mentality around the club, an offensive, modern way of playing, pressing high up the pitch. And now with Pedro, we saw that, I think, in the first season, a little less in the second. It was more refined. By far, I think his best season, the second season. He had a complete team. He had all the pieces of how he wanted to play. But it goes in cycles. They're like a couple of years when we're good and a couple of years when we're shit. And it just feels, I've said it since the game against Frankfurt, the home game that we lost, because I was at the away game. And after the game that we lost at home, I said, the season's over for me. I expect nothing from this team. I know where this is going. It's just going to be one of those seasons where we play crap. The competition in Greece is crap. So when there's no competition in your national league, there is no incentive to improve. There's no incentive to invest seriously. Because you can say we invested, we spent 5 million on Henry and Yukuru, but it's the wrong investment.
Yeah.
It was just
you know what? The owners, and not just this guy now, Kokalis before too, but at least Kokalis brought some really great players. But when they hear the fans singing "Και αν δεν πάρουμε το Ευρωπαϊκό στα αρχίδια μας τα δυο," that shows you these people have no ambition. Nothing at all. All they care about is winning this, what I call Super League. And it's absurd. Winning against Volos and Ofi and Aseras Tripoli. Give me a break. And Martins, I have serious doubts about him. The guy is fixated. And, I don't consider his 4-year stint such a success. I mean, there have been other coaches that brought Olympiacos just as far in Europe, even further than him. What has he done? The first year, he eliminated us. He got us eliminated by Lamia in the cup. Okay? He lost the championship. He's won the championship the next 2-3 years. Sure. But look at the other teams. Look at AEK. Look at PAOK. PAOK, I'm watching now, and they're going to be eliminated by Midtjylland.
They were 2-0 up. What's the score now?
No, they're in overtime, and they're winning 2-1. And Midtjylland had hit the crossbar.
Okay, I'm just turning the channel over now.
They're awful. Okay, yeah. So if you have no ambition and all you care about is winning the crap Greek league, as you said, then you deserve what you're getting.
Like I said, for me, the season's over. I think there's no way we're not winning the league. I don't even want to think like about a scenario where it goes tits up in Greece, because let's not talk about that now. And if we need to, we'll talk about it if and when that happens. But I don't think so. Just if you look at the teams that, or the would-be competitors, and we've seen it. It's just there's no incentive to invest in. And as long as there's no competition in Greece, as long as all the owners don't try and figure things out between them, then things aren't going to progress. But this is a much bigger discussion than the one we're having today about what we've seen in the Frankfurt game, and it's more than football. It's more than football, I'm afraid. I'm assuming you live abroad, but
I live in Canada. But
whereabouts in Canada?
Toronto.
I have a lot of friends there. So,
yeah. But you know what? I don't understand this premura of all the Greek clubs to go to Europe. Why? So they can be eliminated by Velez, by Östersund, by Lemesos. What the hell? Why? There's no reason. I think if they're serious in the Super League, they should ban them from playing in Europe for the next 5 years.
I mean, that's been a scenario as well, right? I mean, look, again, if you look at it from a broader perspective of the state of Greek football and, what's happening in the Football Federation, the fact that Zagorakis resigned, talking about the toxic nature of Greek football, and his kids getting bullied and threatened at school. And there's there's been no election. There have been no elections to replace him. And UEFA and FIFA now are asking the federation to hold free and fair elections. Can you believe this? It's like we're talking politics in a.
Listen, you're way too young. When you talk about the toxic environment of Greek football, I'll tell you, because I'm much older than you. You should take into consideration the toxic environment of all of Greece. They are supposedly surprised about the murder of Alkis, and I say to them, and I get curses, and I get people telling me, "Go die, old man," and all this. I say, listen, otrapoutismos is a way of life in Greece. You go to the bank, and somebody pushes you to get ahead of you. At the same thing with the bus stop, or you drive, and you never know what maniac will come and kill you. This is a way of life. So why are you surprised that they killed someone over football?
Δυστυχώς. We've talked about that before, and it's there are no words really to describe what's happened there. It's an absolute tragedy, but I say this with the biggest sadness, and I'm younger than you are. I'm 35 years old.
Much younger.
It's I just can't understand. It's a cultural thing. That's what I was alluding to earlier. It's the whole issues we're talking about. We're talking about the state of Greek football, but it's the state of Greece. But I really don't want to open that can of worms.
Listen, I was in Greece until 2013, and the way I describe my exit from Greece is one word: drapetevsa.
Escape. Yeah.
I mean, I remember me going, because I believe I'm a very objective fan. I say what is good about Olympiacos, but I also say what is bad about the team. And I remember going to see games at Karaiskakis and being in danger of being beaten up because I expressed an opinion that was contrary to what the sheep had. So I stopped going.
I understand. I know what you're saying. But look, we're not a Greek show. As you know, this show is made up of Greeks of the diaspora. We love Olympiakos. Our fathers, our grandfathers, they did a job to make us fall crazily in love with this club that we.
And you're doing a great job. And I'm really happy whenever I can contribute anything to in terms of opinion. Okay, so thank you very much for having me. Okay,
my regards to Toronto, Canada. Much love.
Cold, my God. But mercifully, in 25 days, I'm going to Rio de Janeiro for 2 months. Thank God.
Keep
care.
warm. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
George. Να σε καλά. Ευχαριστώ. That was our friend George Kefalas from Canada, Toronto, and we've got more. We've got another fan calling in. Hello, my friends. How are you doing? Introduce yourself.
Hello. Well, I'm Garci. I watch a lot of the episodes, the podcasts, and today I think it's the hardest one. I compared this match with the 1-0 loss in Antwerp, and I think it's quite similar. I mean, in Antwerp, we didn't have the need to win because we were already qualified, but today, Vatslik wasn't even the hero as in Antwerp. I watched the game with my father, and when Atalanta scored the second, he said, this keeper is, oh my God. But well, as you told before, I'm from Spain. I know Vaclik from Sevilla, and he's a bad goalkeeper. I think it's one of the signings of this summer, and he saved us in a lot of games. But today, the second and the third, all the goals. I mean, the first one was a mistake from Lala offshore, but well, in the third, Malinovsky with his left foot is, as the Spanish commentator said, the left foot of Malinovsky is like a rocket, and he showed it.
Yeah, but this was like this reminded me of a Rivaldo kick.
Yeah,
You know? That's what it reminded me of, and I was actually watching. I mean, I was watching the game from the sofa, and my mother-in-law was here, and even my mother-in-law was like, "Wow!" And I nearly jumped out of my seat as well when I saw that goal. It was really a cracking strike, and he's a fantastic player. But I mean, really, is it Thomas Vaclik to blame today? Yeah, the ball's gone through his legs on the first one, but if you're a defender there, you just clear it. You don't do what Kenny Lala did on the first goal. The second one, I don't know. I don't have any blame to throw at Vaclik today. I think, like you said, there have been a lot of games this season, including in the league, where he saved us. Recently against Volos as well. But tell me, so tell me your story a little bit. So you're Spanish, right?
Yeah, I'm. The first travel that I did in my life was to Greece, and I was very young. Believe me, I was, I think, 6. And then when I came back to Spain, I started to follow Greek football, Ethniki, everything. And I grew up with Spanish and Greek football together. And at every Euro, every World Cup, was supporting Greece. Olympiacos as well in Champions League when Panathinaikos was playing Champions League. I mean, there were 2 Greek teams playing the highest European competition. Right now, that is utopic, I think, on the UEFA rankings and coefficients. I mean, but I remember those derbies with Cisse in Panathinaikos, Miralas in Olympiacos, and I was all 9 or 10, and I was living it. And I compare it to this year, and this year, some of people said this is a transition year.
Yeah.
And I mean, transition to what? What is coming? I mean, we seen Joao Carvalho in winter, and Carvalho he came from Nottingham Forest. The owner is Marinakis as well, but we need players from, I mean, a higher category, not maybe the Premier League. I mean, not United, but I mean, maybe I think we have very Greek players playing in Serie A. I mean, you have Lykogiannis in Cagliari, Kyriakopoulos in Sassuolo, Giacomakis in Celtic. I mean, Martins is upset with Repsiuk, and Lykogiannis and Kyriakopoulos are left backs as well. And Martin said, I want to give Kitsos more minutes in the league, and why didn't you think? I mean, obviously, Lykogiannis and Kyriakopoulos are playing in Italy, and to Greece, I think comparing the level of the leagues, you know, not a lot of players want to come here. I mean,
no, of course, but you're touching on a really important topic, I think, because, you know, excuse me, a lot of people were like, oh, why can't we Why can't we bring a better player than Henry and Yukuri? Why can't we bring a Miralas type player? Or why can't we bring Diego Costa? Or why can't we bring Tim Cahill on a free? Or, there are a number of like really good players that are having their contracts are expiring in the summer. But guys, context is everything. Have you seen where the Greek league is in the coefficient? Why have you seen the state of our national team? You talked about, Greece being in the World Cup. The last time we played in a big competition, I was at the game in Brazil where we lost to Costa Rica on penalties. And, since then it's been downhill. Why would anybody want to come to Greece? We've said it many times before. Olympiakos it can be a club to rejuvenate players that are fading or that need to regain confidence before we sell them on, or it can be a place like a place for a player like Agibu Kamara, players that have talent that nobody knows. So they, the club can be a launching pad, but then you rightfully raised that there are a number of Greek players that are playing abroad who were shunned from the Greek league. Nobody really took them that seriously. Babis Lykoyannis got the opportunity to play under Micho Gonzalez as a left back in a game against Levante, and that's all I really remember from Lykoyannis. He was judged much too early, and then good for him. He went out and played in Austria at Sturm Graz. He got a move to Italy. Now he's playing at Cagliari. Kyriakopoulos is a player that we looked at actually, but he decided to go to Italy to play in Serie A. Why the hell would he stay in Greece? He can develop if he goes abroad. And the sad truth as well is that if you're a young player in Greece, I think even if you're playing for Olympiacos, your ambition is to go and play abroad, not to stay in Greece for more than 2 seasons probably. That's the objective of any young Greek player. But do we as fans, as Olympiacos fans, have the patience to give a young player the opportunity? If we play Fotis Kitsos on the weekend and he makes a mistake, I don't think we're mature enough. But even this season, when the league is so bad, we don't do it this season. So when are we going to do it?
One thing, I agree with you totally. But one thing that pisses me off a little about the players that are coming in the recent years. Yes, you said Olympiacos may be a launcher from some players like Agibu, but I mean the old players like Socrates, Manolas, Valbuena, they play in Europe for 4 or 5 games, and then when the league is over, party in Athens and Piraeus. The booze in the street last year, no, because of COVID, but party at the stadium, party at Karikakis, Valbuena with a bottle, celebrating. But what did you do in an important game? We should celebrate. I mean, to arrive to last 16 of Europa League, maybe not this year, it wouldn't be deserved. But I mean, you are working in the pitch in a game against Volos that is already won. Like, imagine 3-0 at the 60th minute, and it's already done. 2 months more, and it will be having a party in Piraeus with a lot of people and drinking champagne. And the case of Ruben Semedo, I can tell you because he played a lot here in Spain in 2 teams, Huesca and Villarreal. Well, in Huesca, he did in Olympiacos what he already done in Spain. In Huesca, when that it's a very small team in Spain, the first year they played in the first division, Semedo made a mistake in one game and he was so sad, praying. and said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." At the dressing room, the president of the club entered the dressing room and said, "Semedo, don't worry, we are with you." And 2 weeks after that, Semedo was having a party at home, and someone called the police because of that party. Even the same night he made the mistake in Villarreal, he was jailed because of kidnapping. And and now Olympiacos, my team, I can't handle with that man. And in Porto, you wait like 2 weeks, and then you will read a new about Semedo, and it's obvious. And Onyekuro, I mean, my father is a Barcelona fan, and said that Onyekuro is like the Dembele of Olympiacos.
Dembele is a bit better.
No, because the mistakes.
Do you want to do a swap deal? Let's do a swap deal.
I will agree. Onyekura it's the, I don't know how to say it. Awkward, clumsy.
He's got nothing. It's just awful. God awful.
And about the signings in winter, the news about transfers market, Greece, that Diego Costa was free agent.
Yeah.
The rumor of Diego Costa, are you serious? We have Onyekuro every weekend in the starting 11. Why Diego Costa would love? Because it's like the thing I said before. It's the 34-year-old player that wait until May or June to celebrate at Kariskaki with a bottle.
Yeah. No, that's right. Garci, thanks very much for coming on the show, man. Nice to meet you finally. Thank you for supporting us, and Godspeed.
Thank you. The pleasure is always mine.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Ciao. All right. Do we have Roman Smirnidis?
Hi, how are you going?
What's up, man? No camera?
No, I think the camera is on. Oh, yeah, that's better.
How you doing, my friend?
Well, with the whole situation with the war, I'm in Moscow right now, kind of shitty. It's completely fucked up right now. Let's hope it ends soon. But let's stay away from it. Let's pray for the best.
Amen.
Right now. Okay, let's talk about our
Tell
shit
me,
right now.
What's on your mind?
Let me ask you, Costa. Like seriously.
Yeah.
Which was the best year we had with Pedro Martins in terms of a football played?
The first season.
Which one was the second best season? The next one. The next one, right?
I think that the first season we played the best football, but we didn't have a striker. We didn't have an El Arabi.
Yeah, we had Guerrero and Hassan. I remember that.
Yeah,
but in terms of general football, we were the best season was the first season with Martins, right?
The football was incredible. I remember the PAOK game that we lost.
It should be 5-1.
I've never seen. I can't remember many games where we've dominated an opponent like we dominated them.
Exactly.
That season.
I do remember that game. Believe me, I was in Thessaloniki watching that game with my PAOK friends, and it was whatever. So the best next season was the second one, the one after the first one, right?
Yeah. And results wise, we did better that season.
Screw the results. I'm not talking about the results. And which one is the worst one?
This one by far.
So why it's fine to say that one player is regressing for some reason, like we used to say, but at the same time we cannot say the same thing about Martins. He literally becomes worse and worse every season, and we never mention that.
Yeah, that's a
I don't know.
point.
Maybe you did, but
Yeah,
I mean
no.
that's.
No, I think I don't. I don't think that he's immune to criticism. Far from it. We've been quite critical of Pedro Martins. There are a lot of things that, frankly, I just don't understand about what he's been doing. Like, why did he play 3 at the back in the playoffs last season? Why did he start preseason playing
That's the
4-4-2?
point, Costa. There are so many questions without any
Yeah.
answers. You know what's the
Yeah.
main thing I'm thinking right now? I don't see a plan. I don't see a philosophy behind our game style. It seems like we're improvising all the time.
We don't know. We don't
know. We don't
know what
have.
our best starting 11 is. We don't know what our best formation is. There's no identity. There's no identity.
There's
to this
no
team.
identity. And how you're supposed to get a good chemistry between the team when you're switching formations every week?
Agreed. But it's that's exactly why I said, Roman. Like I've said it a few times today. Oh, and by the way, Balka through to the next round. They just won on penalties.
Good for
anyway,
them.
Yeah, good for them. Whatever.
And for the Greek football in general. Okay.
What was I saying?
About the formation thing.
Yeah, you're right, mate. I mean, too many questions unanswered, like you said. The whole Fortuny stuff last season as well. Fortuny's playing on the left. There's no logic to the transfers as well. Now
I asked you about 2 weeks ago. Which was the last coach that played 3-4-3 for Olympiacos? You answer that.
Yeah, Katanets.
I mean, it's not in our DNA, and he stayed for 2 months, and he was fired after that.
Yeah. I think I was saying that night when you asked the question that he played a format 3-6-1. I think he played a European game.
It's so fucked up. I mean, it's not in our DNA.
3-6-1. Yeah. No, agreed, man. I don't know. It's the team we saw in the first season. It had that Olympiacos DNA, like the 4-2-3-1.
It had a spark.
Yeah.
You could see a spark. You could see something. And we were so optimistic and saying that if that's our first year with that coach and he's showing that level of football, what's gonna happen the next year seasons?
But he built on it and he refined it in the second season. He said, I can play the 4-2-3-1, but I can play a 4-3-3 as well because I've got a Liverpool, a player that can play for Liverpool as my left back.
Oh
yeah. And a right back like Omar El Abdelawi that can run up and down the wing all game. And for all the shit that Omar got sometimes, because he was at least a consistent 7.
Yeah, he was never above 7. I mean under 7. Sorry.
It was like you got what you got from him, and then there were games where he'd give an assist or he'd score a goal. Like there was the season.
He was never our worst player in one game. I cannot remember him like shitty. He was average or above average. That was like the way.
Yeah, and now he wants to play 3 at the back and play a system that really relies on you having top quality wing backs, which we just don't.
And we have literally the words like wing backs last, I don't know, at least 15, maybe 20 years I can remember.
I'm struggling actually.
Like we had Torosidis, we had Mazuako on the left, we had who else was on the left? We had Olebas on the left.
Even Raul Bravo played all right for us.
I mean, it's such a disaster, man. And another thing, I'm not sure if you mentioned that. Set pieces, man. I mean, if it's a fucking disaster, do you remember the first game against Atalanta, right?
Yeah, I was at the game.
Yeah, every single corner was like a penalty.
Yeah.
And if that's unacceptable when you're playing with 2 central midfielders, it's even worse when you play with 3 because you have 3 tall guys.
And we've got big bodies. Yeah, I was going to say.
And we have Tiquinho, who is big body as well. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, does it?
If you play a zonal defense, that's a risk. That's a risk.
I
never liked it. I never liked the zone defense.
I don't think that's the issue, man. Because many teams does the same, but it's not like a penalty every single corner kick, for God's sake. And if you remember, there was a period, I think it was like 1 year ago, maybe 6 months ago, when we had the same problem. We were conceding goals from corner kicks like 3 or 4 games in a row. I think it was like some months ago.
Yeah. No. Set
So
pieces,
many unanswered questions, man.
set pieces.
Transfers?
Yeah. I excuse me. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about the transfers, but I mean, this season has been absolutely abysmal. And there's no logic. There's no sequence. It's like we have Carvalho that we brought in, who I think is a good player. Huh?
Yeah, he's fine.
I think Carvalho is a good player. If he ends up, being a good player for Olympiacos is another question.
I mean, he gives us creativity that we're really lacking right now.
Exactly.
We cannot create. We cannot do that.
He can see a pass. He can see it. He can see the runs before they happen. He can play the ball first time. He has that flair. It reminds me of Fortunis in a way. But then
he's that old style of a playmaker who is not like super athletic, but he works with his vision and his mind more than with his body.
Exactly. But then you've got him, you've got Fortunis, you've got Agibu. I'm telling you, it's this season. If those 3 players are fit at the same time, who starts?
I don't know. Play with 3 playmakers. It doesn't make sense. I got your point.
Yeah, but who starts? Agibu Camara starts because he doesn't like Fortunis, and Carvalho is a bit lazy. He has that kind of attitude like Fortunis does on the pitch. He doesn't press. He doesn't do the things that Agibu does. But the things that the other 2 can do, Agibu can't do, because Agibu he's still immature. He's still indecisive, or he still makes a wrong decision. He still shoots instead of passing when he should pass, or he still passes when he should shoot. But those are so many questions. Like, why did we sign Fadiga? Why did we sign Pierre Koundé? I almost forgot Pierre Koundé.
What about Pepe? What about I'm not talking about. I mean, and just pay attention. They're not like players for your bench or your backup guys. They would be actually role players. Some of them even starters. And that makes it even worse. And we paid money for them. We paid money for Nyakuru. We paid money for Koundé, if I'm not mistaken. We paid money for Pepe. We paid money for Pepe. And if I'm not mistaken, again, most of these transfers are Pedro Martin's choices, right?
So, well, I can definitely see Pep. And then, I mean, it's a bit difficult with what you hear from the press, because they say, for example, that Lovera, who we signed for $3.5 million, they're saying, oh, Martins knows the Latin American market really well and he wants Maxi Lovera. So I'm sorry, I don't believe that. I'm sorry, I don't believe that.
You know why I'm fine? I'm fine with the Lovera thing, because when we bought him, he was quite young. So it's kind of, it's a gamble.
Yeah, I mean, but
I'm not against that. But when you sign Koundé, who is like 28 or something, and he's shit, and probably he was shit even before us, and he will be after us. I mean, what's the scouting doing? And it's weird, because our scouting in terms of our youth development and our B team is doing quite well. You cannot say it's a disaster. We got Agibu for the second team, and he is our lineup starts from him basically every game.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's clearly a connection that we have to the French market and Africa, picking up Al Ghassim Bar as well. But
Costa, Rafinha, really? You get a right back who is 35 years old?
I was saying earlier,
that should be illegal. There should be a law, like by the Greek government. You're not allowed to sink left backs or right backs who are over 33 or something. It's literally the only position when you need like strength, endurance, stamina.
To be fair, Rafinha had stamina even at 34, 35 when we signed him. And I said it earlier today, if I had to pick between Kenny Lala and Rafinha, I'd go Rafinha every time.
Can you imagine Rafinha playing 3-4-3?
Yeah.
Oh man, come on.
Probably not. No, probably not.
Come on, it's just awful. I don't know. So many unanswered questions. I cannot see.
We've been playing Androutsos at right back for a year now, and now suddenly he realized that he's not a right back, and Mario Vrusai is the second choice right back now. That says a lot. That says a lot. We destroyed We destroyed that player. We really destroyed that
Vrusai?
Vrusai and Androutos.
I think like Vrusai is a little bit more talented than Androutos is.
Yeah.
I mean, we can see Androutos Tavani, as we say in Greece, right? But we were always hoping that Vrusai is going to be better in each year and so on and so on. So, I don't know. So, what do you think about next year?
Big summer, man. It's a rebuild summer, just like the first season. I don't think it's going to be as drastic in terms of getting 30, 40 players out as we did, the first season Martins came in. But if I look at today's, let's look at today's team. So who do you keep? you keep the keeper, you keep Manolas, you keep Socrates, you keep Oleg as a backup option. I'd keep him in the squad.
I can't disagree with that.
But not for my first choice left back. Not for my first choice left back. Absolutely not.
Man, he's becoming better slowly but steady. He's becoming better, and you have to give him that.
Absolutely, and I have. I think that from the start of the season until December, he and Cisse are our two best players. Him and Cisse are our two best players until December, and we've said it on the last few pods. And if you look at the player ratings that we do, like after the games, every week since January, every game, we write the same thing. He's tired. He needs a rest. He has no competition. There's nobody to play instead of him. He's been run into the ground by this manager. And it's hard. It's hard to watch him as it is, but you appreciate the effort, the determination, the improvement. Like his crossing did improve from the beginning of the season until December. And then just after Christmas, I mean, he's gaige, like you say in Greek.
Yeah, I got your point.
He played too many games without any competition. So I keep him in my squad, but not as my first choice left back. Kenny Lala, thank you very much. Fuck off. Sorry.
The same thing works for Androutos.
Yeah, I don't like to swear, but yeah, he can go wherever he wants. Androutos, I want him to go because his career at Olympiacos is finished. He needs to go. He needs to find himself. We're talking about a player that started his career as a second striker, got moved back to central midfield. Paulo Bento played him as a number 10, like as a second striker.
Do you remember the game in Barcelona we played?
With Nicolau? Yeah.
Yes. Do you remember he was in the starting 11 on the Rutsos?
Yeah, but that season he was playing everywhere. He was left wing, he was right wing, he was centre mid, played everywhere. Yeah. He's a very versatile player, but you probably know as well as I do, if you're a young player looking to progress.
Well, he's not that young anymore.
Not anymore. But at that age, you need to play in one position. And right now, I don't know what Thanasis Androutos doesn't know what his position is.
That's true. He's kind of lost. Okay, what about the midfield?
Mvila I keep.
I mean, sorry for interrupting you. Does it matter if Martins knows in advance what formation are we going to play next year? Because usually you build your transfer policy around the formation you're going to play, right? So if we have no clue what formation we're going to play next year, I mean, this conversation is kind of not pointless, but I mean, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean, of course. And in any serious team, then you should know what your plan is, like how you want to play, what kind of football you want to play, what identity you want to have.
Do we keep Arabi?
No, for me, no.
I agree with you.
And there are different. Sorry, I'm just bringing up this comment from Muscarius. Adere Costa pestos epitelos τον έκαψε τον Moldavo. Exactly, that's what I said, man. I couldn't find the better word in English, so I just resorted to the Greek word. Τι λέγαμε? What were we saying? The midfield.
No, about El Arabi, if you would keep him or not.
There were at least mixed opinions about this because it's very hard to find a player like El Arabi that scores 20 goals a season that can come to Greece. My point about this was...
Do you know how much money he's earning?
He's getting 2 million.
I think he's if he's not the top, I think he's one of the top earners in our team.
He is the top earner. I think him and Jan and Villa have the same money.
Yeah, something about that.
And I think Manolas probably as well. But I mean if he's asking for 2.5 million, man, so thank you very much. Cheers, mate. You're one of the best strikers.
I do agree. I think you can find a good striker for that amount of money. It's not that I'm trusting our transfer policy, judging but like what we saw last seasons. But I mean, come on, that's way too much for a player who is like 36 next year.
Yeah, I think he's turning 35. Or I think I think he turned 35 already. So no, man, I've said it. I think Tiquinho is our point man next year, and I think they need to bring in a striker.
And we need wingers, gosh. We need some wingers who can create for themselves.
We need 2 wingers, and we.
I have a feeling that we're playing with 2 Sebas on each wing every game. Zero creativity, man. Like nothing. Nothing.
At least Seba, you knew what he was going to give you, and then there were the games where he was like, Seba was like the Oleg Ryabchuk of the wingers.
Yeah, something like that.
You know
and he's Brazilian. It doesn't make it. He was the only Brazilian in the history of football that was a winger and he couldn't dribble. I mean, they should take his nationality. I don't know, his Brazilian passport away. It doesn't make any sense.
Just bringing up this question from Yorgos Kalkias. Would you agree that Manolas was the most passionate player out there today? He seemed the only one interested. I said earlier, man, I thought Tiquinho was good tonight. Good in a sense that he was the least worst of the worst. I thought he had very good hold-up play. I think that the referee could have whistled on a couple of occasions. The defenders from the other team, they were very physical, and so was he. But I think that he could have gotten a few calls. Manolas, okay. We should expect that from him. He's come back at a good age to give exactly that, to give passion and play for Olympiacos, and probably finish his career here. So I expect that from him. Was he the most passionate? I don't know what you think, Roman.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't seen the match today. Like I saw it briefly, but I cannot judge. I cannot have opinion about this match.
Yeah. Well, you didn't miss a lot, man. But
I know. Like I saw the first goal, then the second one, so I turned it off. It was enough for me.
I was saying today was a big fat 0.
Yeah.
0 shots on target.
Last question, Costa. What about Onyekuru? Because I have a very unpopular opinion about him.
Go.
I think Onyekuru has the Haris Papas syndrome. He's very good player when you're playing on the counter-attacks, but when you play a possession football, when the opponent is defending all the time, he's pretty much useless.
Yep, and it's not so much that it's an unpopular opinion. When we did a deep dive.
Sorry for the popular opinion is that I think we should give him one more chance for the next season. You can continue.
For me, it's done. It's done. I don't know. It's I don't know what it is about him. It's just he doesn't have any character. He doesn't give off like in Greek we say in aosmos. Like
apsychos, soulless.
Είναι άψυχος και είναι aosmos. He smells of nothing. If you try and smell him to try and understand like what's going on, there's no smell. There's no smell, and there's no passion, and he just doesn't ooze anything. He doesn't give me anything. Like I've said it on a couple of shows, like that he makes some good runs, but there are very few players on the team that can pick him out. Maybe a Fortunis, or maybe a creative player like Carvalho, somebody that can pick out a pass. And that's the only kind of elafridiko, like the only kind of excuse that I can find for him is that there aren't really players on the team that can pick him out. But the point is, the point you made about him being a player that can play very well on the counter is a point that we brought to the fore when Ari did his deep dive. So when he did his deep dive, he said this player is very good playing in open space, but his build-up play is not great. And 8 times out of 10 in a season, when we're not playing in Europe, we're playing against a park the bus tactic.
Mm-hmm.
So you paid 5 million for him.
Yeah, the value is shitty. I got your point.
Well, it was
That's fair.
wrong. It's just the wrong signing. Was the wrong signing.
Okay, do you remember which was the alternatives? I think there was another guy from Besiktas. I'm missing his name right now. He was a black guy as well from Africa. I'm missing his name. And Kudu, something like that. And Kudu.
The Tottenham player.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan. There was Bruma.
Gosh, man, I almost forgot him.
Helios Flores. 1,000 times. 1,000 times Bruma.
I agree with you.
And if we paid his release fee was 6.5. 6.5, I think. 6.5 million euros.
Yeah, but that's still too much for Bruma. But it's way better.
5 million for Onyekuru.
Yeah,
he paid 5 million. And I think there was some wiggle room to bring try and negotiate, get him for 5.
Do you remember how Miralas came to Olympiacos?
When?
How?
Yeah.
He came. I think it was the last season of Kokalis. The next season, Marinakis.
It was the transition year. It was
a transition year. And if I'm not mistaken, he came as a loan player, and then we bought him or something like that.
Correct. Yeah.
And I think we were playing against Saint-Etienne, and he scored us, and he had like an amazing game.
Yeah.
We played against him, if you remember, and he was amazing. That's how we actually discovered him. But we need some creativity, man. We need some creativity from the wings. It's unbearable.
We need creativity, period. You're not getting anything from your wingers, and Madi Camara is like an imposter. It's not Madi Camara what we're seeing.
How much teams were offering for Camara this summer? Like 15 or something?
Supposedly, yeah. Let's say between 10 and 15, but I'm not sure because
okay, let's say 15. Let's say 15. Let's stick with that.
I don't think we got that kind of money. I don't think we received that kind of money. I think Napoli bid about 5 or 8 million, something like that. I don't think they bid more than 10.
Okay, let's make it 10, like to be in the middle. Yeah. What's the max amount of money we can get for Camara right now?
So his valuation on Transfermarkt just went down from 15 million to 13 million. So if you want to use that as an indicator, but quite frankly, I don't think you get more than 5 million for him now, if based on his season. Aris Spears just bringing up the wingers that were linked this season. Yeah, Marcus Edwards was one I wanted to bring up. Marcus Edwards has gone to Sporting Lisbon now.
The guy the English guy from I'm missing his team right now.
Yeah, so he was playing for Guimarães.
Guimarães, yes, somewhere in Portugal.
Yeah, that's where
I remember Pavon as well, the Argentinian guy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So he's on a free in the summer. Diego, I think it's Diego Jota. So that's the Liverpool player. This is the Jota that plays for Benfica. He was on loan in Spain last season. I don't know where he ended up. Reece Nelson is having a terrible time in. I think he's in Holland. He's not playing well. Yeah, man. To be honest, looking at all of those, I mean, Marcus Edwards would have been a really nice signing. He's half Cypriot as well. He speaks Greek. Speaks a bit of Greek. I think
we were about to sign Ajax Garcia, not Garcia. Yeah, it's Garcia, right?
Levi Garcia.
Levi Garcia. Yeah. Somehow something didn't went the way it should, and we thought that he's a bad choice for us, and we took like Bruma instead that year, and then we changed Bruma for Onyekuru. I mean, it's getting worse and worse. It's like a chain. I don't know how that. And we're missing a player like Garcia right now, who can be a threat, who can play one-on-one, who can create himself.
Yeah, we don't have that at all on the wings. Very Gary Rodriguez, but both Gary Rodriguez and Levi Garcia, they both have the same problem. They're both made of glass.
Yes, but I think Gary Rodriguez is much worse, man. I cannot remember Olympiacos player getting injured more than him. Literally once a month he gets out for 2 weeks.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh, all right, Costa. That was it, I guess. I'm not sure if you have another guys waiting on the line.
No, we've been going on nearly 1.5 hours. It's midnight here in Brussels, and I think I'm gonna call it a night as well. But
sure.
Thanks for the company. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Costa. Thank you.
Be safe. Take care.
Yeah, peace to all world. Bye.
Take care. Thank you, Roman. And that was Roman Smirnidis calling from Moscow. Guys, I think we're going to call it a night. I've been going for almost an hour and a half. It's been great getting your comments in as usual. Thanks to everybody that's popped in tonight. A bitter night for the football team. I hope there are some basketball fans out there as well, and I hope that the basketball fans giving you a bit of joy. A great win in the basketball. It's the end for our European campaign. We've got the Greek League left. There's a game against Offi at home this weekend. Offi have been doing pretty well recently. Let's see if there's anything that we can salvage from this season. Let's hope that the board, the management, everybody involved at the club is already thinking about next season. Personally, I've been thinking about next season already since October, November last year. I've already said it a couple of times today. I've said it before. We need a rebuild, not a complete reset, but we need to ship out some players. We need to bring good players in. We need to make good choices. No more Henry Onyekuru's, no more loan Ronnie Lopez options. We need to change the way we do things. What we've seen in Europe has been a shadow of what we saw in Pedro Martin's first 2 seasons. Pedro Martins, I think, needs to ask himself some difficult questions as well. We were saying with Roman, there are a lot of questions that have gone unanswered about some of his choices, some of his decisions. And I think that's all we've got time for today, folks. Thanks very much for watching. Thank you for listening, especially if you've made it this far. Wherever you guys are on the planet, stay safe. Pray. What's going on the eastern border of Europe is troubling, to say the least. Let's hope it does not escalate any further. Let's hope for a level of diplomacy and de-escalation. Strange times we're living. But okay, guys, again, thanks very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe in case you haven't done so already. Like if you liked what you listened to tonight, subscribe, and that way you won't miss future episodes. Check out the blog that's coming out, done by Lambro and Kosta. They've been in Athens the last couple of days. They were looking forward to the game. They did some interviews, footage from around Athens and in the stadium tonight. You can take in the atmosphere. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell, and you'll get a notification as soon as that's out. On the good days and the bad days, we're here for you. We are Gate 7 International, your number one English source for all things Olympiacos, by the fans, for the fans. You just listened to an episode of the Gate 7 International Podcast, a podcast connecting Olympiacos fans from Brussels to Tokyo, from Toronto to Geneva. We are 4 Olympiacos fans from every corner of the world, bringing you news and interviews of the team you love in English. With new episodes twice a week, you'll never miss out on the latest updates and stories of the team you love. If you liked what you heard, make sure to follow us on social media at Gate7INTL, give us a subscribe on YouTube, or even leave a review on all our podcast channels. Until next time, this is our team, our city and our story. Θρύλος είσαι. Στο μυαλό κάτι μαγικό.